Okay. Okay. This is not biased. I actually saw this on the news. I'm quite sure if you have heard what Donald Trump has been talking about people like tearing down like historical statues. And I will not agree with them on this. So history, it's not always about slavery. It's also about like all the history behind everything. But people, I don't think they really have an understanding of like what it all meant. It's not about slavery. There have been like other like great things that person has done in their lifetime, and you can't erase history. You gotta understand that. So tearing down the statue just because, oh, I find it offensive. I don't like it. Yeah, that won't work. No, no. So basically, just because you don't like something doesn't mean that others go should have to follow your ideals. From Bristol, England, to all places all over, the statues are being torn down, and people are like finding George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and a whole bunch of other people who have done good, but people are still looking at the slavery side of it and not the positive side of it, when you should actually consider, So because of these statues, like, you're supposed to know, okay, so this happened in back in the day. We need to learn from it and make sure we don't make the same mistakes they did. That was the thing. Doug Ford has also said like the same thing. Also with street name changes and brand name changing their logos. Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben's, Miss Butterworth, and so many more. Just because they use black people who looked happy like when cooking. Yeah. So these statues are all being torn down were about black people. But what's really concerning me is, okay, if you are like a religious, you shouldn't be watching this. Go watch another video, please don't. This might offend you. Not because what I said, but what I've seen on the news. So people are now targeting religious statues as well. Jesus Christ and other religious monuments. So basically, if you are religious, there are like black people out there who do pray every day. They believe in God. They spoke in the name of God. And there have been other people of other races who do believe in a God, not just Jesus Christ, but other forms of God. That's why we have like a Catholic, Hinduism, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Buddhism. Confucius, I can't pronounce the last one, but it's a common one in Asia, and I think, but and also like was sort of like believing in like Catholic until until grade six, and I went to like church isn't the thing for me. Yeah, I do respect basically anyone who is believes in any form of like God or like does any form of religion. If people are going to be like trying to take down these statues, just because Jesus is white, but he didn't believe in anything like race and stuff. It was just basically being honest about yourself and being wise. And there are many people who believe in the same religion, and they all come from different races, and they believe in the same religion. So I'll literally walk into a church and I see black men and women, white men and women, Mexican men and women, Arabic men and women, Asian men and women, kneeling down, saying the Lord's Prayer, or basically whatever like religion it is. I don't know. I'm not an expert on this stuff. I think basically all my aunts and uncles, they're like religious. Yeah. And yeah, there is like basically like in these historic figures of like a religion, like none of these people have been racist, hated on others, or they, even if the person was bad, they tried to change them into a good person. Like honesty, empathy, respect, responsibility, and a whole bunch of other like things I have learned in a Catholic school. Yeah, that is something like basically anyone who's been in like a religious school, like yeah, especially the Catholic school board, yeah, have learned, and people need to be like that. You take responsibility for your own actions, be honest, and respect others, and have empathy. That was one of them. So these religions have not like hated on another religion. And just people could have different forms of religion, and if you are like gonna like sort of like take these down, then these people have nothing to look after. Like Hail Mary's gone, Jesus is gone, the Jesus monument's gone. Like what you trying to do? Spread negativity? And this is caused by people from the Black Lives Matter movement. By the way, if you didn't know. So erasing history is not doing any good for you. Learn from it. Don't make the same mistakes they did. I'll gladly let you talk to a black police officer if I have to. Cause I actually had like a science teacher who was also my biology teacher and environmental science teacher, and she was also and also a whole bunch of other people she were in touch with religious and you know. If you actually do like your research and not like follow biased news, you'll learn that religion has never attacked another religion, and just it's just sad that way. Like people are like especially like people of nowadays think they like they can do whatever they want, and they have the freedom of just because they have freedom of speech, they think and they can behave any kind of way they want, and yeah. And there has been like innocent black men who have been and women who do believe in God, and guess what? What like the black people are doing to other black people, committing bad crimes against other black people. So if you are a Black Lives Matter supporter and you are tearing down a statue, especially if it's a religious statue, you should be ashamed of yourself, because there are people who are religious and they believe in this stuff, and you are basically taking it away from them, no matter what race they are. End of story.